Ah, so I take it you think women are equal to men?
Certainly not. Women are far superior.
Have you noticed how divorce seems to be everywhere lately? Scroll through social media and you will find endless debates about why so many marriages are ending. The biggest talking point today is why most of these women are choosing to file for divorce. Let me make this clear. This isn't about blaming one gender or declaring a winner in the debate. It's about understanding why relationship ends and separating fact from opinion. And maybe we can learn one or two from these women. So let's get into it.
I got divorced at 53 years old after an 18-year marriage. And there have been plenty of times post-divorce where I've kind of lamented the fact that I spent so many years in a bad marriage. Why didn't I get a divorce sooner? I wish I was younger when I got the divorce. Now I'm realizing that at 53 years old, this was the perfect time for me to have gotten a divorce. Because at 53, I am no longer the focus of male attention. And because I'm no longer the focus of male attention, I'm no longer seeking male validation. When I was a teenage girl and I started getting attention from boys and men, I kind of found myself on this hamster wheel of wanting attention because the attention made me feel good. It made me feel pretty. It made me feel smart. It made me feel confident in myself. It was just a very slippery slope from receiving attention to actively seeking male validation. What a man thought about me mattered, because eventually it was going to lead to a man choosing me to be his wife. And once I was chosen as a wife, I could relax. I could just finally be myself because I was going to have this man who loved me and accepted me for who I truly was. But once I got into an actual marriage, I found out I was still on that hamster wheel. I was still seeking attention from my husband, seeking his validation, seeking his time. It just never ended.
This is the same pattern when it comes to men. They will chase you, buy you gifts, show you love, care, and all that. Let's say like the same blueprint they follow to get your attention and for you accepting to be their woman or their partner, right? And after doing all of this, when you accept being to be their partner, they just drop the whole thing. You know, they believe that, now you're my girlfriend or now you're my wife. I don't think I need to do all of that anymore, which is not true. You have to put in the same effort as long as you like this woman and as long as you want this relationship to continue. But they think like, it's too much work, it's too much effort. But the women also put in the work, not just only the men. So I don't know what made them think, just because she's now my wife, I no longer want to do this. And now women are saying like, marriage is no longer an achievement. And I like that for us.
Whatever makes you feel better. Paint me as the villain if that makes you feel better. Make everyone hate me if that makes you feel better.
This man conducted a 6-year-long experiment, being married to this woman and thinking that he could talk her into having children, even though she made it plain to him on the first date that was never going to happen. See, what they're hoping is that you love them so much that you will backtrack on your goals for your life. But she said, I don't want to be a mom, and I don't love you enough to change my mind about what I said. They love the beautiful colors on that pretty bird. That's why they want to cage it. They want to see what you're willing to sacrifice in the name of loving them. Will you give up your career for me? Will you have kids even though you say you didn't want to? Will you move cross country even though you say you didn't want to? I'm glad women are saying, oh, no, I love you, but I love me more. What they really want to do is get in front of a podcast mic and tell other men, she didn't even want kids up front. Yeah, I know, but I talked her into it and now we have 5. Oh, she didn't even want to get married at first. Yeah, but I talked her into it and yeah, she was a doctor, Yeah, and I talked her into giving that all up to raise my kids. That's what they want. If they don't talk you into some extreme level of sacrifice on your part, let them tell it you never loved them.
When it comes to a topic like this, my problem with men is that they think something is wrong with you for not wanting to have more kids or for not wanting kids at all. You understand? This is not some gift. This is not a flower. This is not a shoe that you can just get angry that I did not get for you. This is a life, a human being we're talking about. You can bring this baby into this world and not have the patience, the emotion, and the mental stability to care for this child. And don't even get me started on how they switch on you immediately you get pregnant. And you will be confused because you'll be like, I thought you want a child from me. I thought you want kids. Telling you no, that I don't want kids, does not mean you have to convince me. A no is a no. And I think he wasted his own 6 years of life, not the woman, because at the end of the day, see what happened. She still chose to divorce him.
Thoughts on the video going around of the woman who is a stay-at-home mom for 7 years whose husband has suddenly asked for a divorce that's going around is, first of all, empathy, because that's a very difficult place to be in emotionally and now financially. But also understanding, like, she probably never thought he would do that to her. When they bought a house, he didn't even put her on the title of the home or the deed of the home because he didn't want to put that debt on her. But that was also so harmful to their kids, because if he passed away and did not have a will set up, that home could have gone into probate and his wife and children would have lost their home. I don't think she mentioned her car, but a lot of times in these situations, the woman is not on the title or registration of her vehicle because he bought it for her. She doesn't even have her own line of credit. She's on his credit card and he's telling her, like, just start using your own credit card. She does not have income. She has a huge gap in her resume, and she's not the only one that has faced it. And I don't say any of this out of judgment of people who are stay-at-home moms or who want to be stay-at-home moms. I say it out of, it is time that we take it seriously in how we protect stay-at-home parents. Because if you think, oh, my husband would never do that to me, he's a man. The only thing they do is ever.
I mean, she's right. She's right. Men will always look after themselves before anyone else. And like, this woman thought, oh, my husband loved me enough not to ever leave me. He loved me enough not to ever ask for a divorce. You know, I know they say women are mostly the ones to ask for divorce, but men do too, you know. Sometimes he might just be tired and he might just be bored and want something new out of the relationship. And I'm like, and they have several kids. And so many of these women, they have lots of kids. I'm not talking about like 1 or 2, like 5, 6, 8, some even up to 14. Why? Because, okay, let's assume the man never, like, you know, choose to ask for divorce or something. What if he died? What if he lost his sight? What if he lost his leg? What if he gets into an accident and, you know, is disabled and you have to care for him? Do these women like think all these things through before they choose? And I know some women love to be a stay-at-home mom or a child wife, whatever way you might put it, but at least have something doing. Have some kind of like a business you can do from your home, or like a part-time job. You know, when the kids are in school, you can like do something, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. At least have a backup plan. That's all what you're saying. We know you are grown up, you can do whatever you want, it's your life. But if things like this happen without having a backup plan, how do you expect people to feel pity for you?
I wrote a whole persuasive essay when I was in high school about how it's better for parents to get divorced while their kids are young rather than sticking it out for the kids, because it's never for the kids. It never works out. I mean, not never, but it hardly works out. And then the kids have to be 13 watching their parents or their family fall apart and just break every normal thing that they had.
I often hear women say, oh, I'm staying for the kids. Oh, I'm staying for the kids. But most of the time, the kids don't even want you to stay for them. They are seeing the signs. The kids are not blind. They are not deaf. They can see the chaos. They can feel it when something is not right. You understand? And some stay for the kids to the extent that they lose themselves mentally, emotionally. Some even lost their life, all in the name of they are staying for the kids. Please, I bet you the kids, they will be fine.
As someone that has been married and divorced 3 times, I'm going to let you know right now that the switch up is absolutely real.
1, 2, 3. Why? Ma perché? Why would you want to get married 3 times? I understand the first time, you know, maybe you were naive, you were pressured, something like that. And the second time, like this, you have to be like, I don't know, be attentive. Fai attenti.
You are not imagining things, okay? There are a few breaking points, if you will, where men will switch up in a relationship. And I'm going to give you a list of them. Number 1, when you become exclusive. That period of time when you cut off all of your other prospects, the men that you are dating or entertaining. And no, I'm not talking about sex for you men in the back. I'm talking about getting to know people. And now you decide that you're going to be exclusive with this one person, that they switch up on you.
I'm just going to say this. Do not, I repeat, do not move across the country, across the state for a man. Except you have like some career that you want to chase over there, a job opportunity or something. Don't do it. Because you're leaving your friends, your family, everything you know behind just for this one person. And what if, just an assumption, what if the whole relationship is not the way you imagined? I think that is the only way I can put it. This is similar to what I said earlier. Always have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan when it comes to your marriage, when it comes to men. They will leave you stranded at when you needed them the most. That is just all I have to say, because I don't need to go too much about this.
So I'm 55, and I just left my husband of 28 years, and I should have left him 20 years ago. And I'm here to say that the minute you think it's time to leave, leave. Don't let it go 20 years. Don't let it go 20 years.
For some women, it's not really easy to just drop everything they know and leave. The switch from this man come when you're like, 5 years into the marriage with 3 kids or with 2 kids, and you have no job, you have no savings, you have nowhere to go. Sometimes you guys might have even moved from your current state or your city, your country, to somewhere else, and it's difficult for you because you are all alone. You understand? And not everyone, I know, even though I'm here preaching and say always have backup plan, not every woman is educated. Not every woman is like that smart to like figure out everything immediately. Not every woman has the resources. Not every woman has family or friends that can be there for them when they needed this help. And not all women have the guts to leave their kids behind with their husband. Not everyone. So, and I understand what she's saying, but the earlier the better. So don't just like get married and be a stay-at-home mom, or just get married and expect like, okay, he's going to take care of me, he's going to handle everything. Make sure you have some kind of skills and you have a degree. You can get back into the field to work for your kids and to care for yourself.
I regret getting married to the wrong person. I wish I could go back and tell my younger self to wait and to not settle. I hate going through the divorce process. I'm not fully divorced yet. Papers are signed, but the judge won't sign off on them. I don't know why. I have court tomorrow and it's stressing me out. And I just wish I could go back and not get married.
Now I have a question. I know I have few answers in my head, but why is it that when you want to get married, it's easy, but when you want a divorce, it's difficult? The paperwork is long. There's so many things you have to consider, like sharing of properties and so on and so forth.
I am getting a divorce. I got married at 19 and I'm getting divorced at 23. You're wondering what I'm doing in this beautiful room. It is my childhood bedroom, but it's okay. It's exactly like a breakup if a breakup also had a lawyer. Congratulances are in order. This is weird. My skin like cleared up in like 3 days. Coincidentally, I moved out 3 days ago. Now, since I've been a married woman and now a soon-to-be divorced woman, let me give you some youngins some wisdom. I think every 19-year-old who legitimately wants to marry their boyfriend know that there are exceptions to the rule. Like, they know what the statistics are, they know it's not looking good, but there are exceptions to the rule. My grandparents, my Mimi was 17 when she married her husband, happily married for 1,000 years. Everyone thinks that'll be them. I thought that would be me. But let me tell you something. If you love a person and you're like, okay, exactly as they are right now, I could love that forever. I could live like this forever. That's so wise. Let me tell you something. People can get worse. Both can become much worse versions of yourself. I'm so old and experienced.
I mean, getting married at that young age, for me, it's too early. Like 19. I understand where she's coming from because I have the same mentality as well, because I watch both of my parents growing up, I see how their marriage is, and I'm like, I want to have that, Majority of these men these days, they are moving mad. It's not. It's not as easy as it is. It's not, and I don't think there's anything wrong seeing your grandparents or seeing your parents having this beautiful marriage. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying my parents have like the best marriage on earth. No, I'm just saying I love what my parents had, still have, because they're still married. But for me, it was like this. The whole thing was different.
Two things that I know for sure as a woman who is newly divorced and was married for 19 years. The first thing is I will not get married again. I have no desire to get married again. And secondly, I do not want to live with the man again. I love having my own space. And when I think about my next partnership, my love, all of that, he will have his own place and I will have my own place.
This is the reason why I was complaining about the other lady. Like, why would you want to remarry after like 20 years, 10 years, or even 5 years of marriage 3 times? And living with a man is the most difficult thing. Because why? You have to fend for 2 people. Some of these men are not even neat. Some of them don't even know how to pick after themselves. Been there, done that. Okay? Some of these men don't know how to be an emotional support for you. Some of them are not romantic. Some of them are not good in bed. And some of them are not even attractive, walking around looking like a weapon formed against you.
When I got married, I was already a mother. My daughter was 3 at the time. She's 6 now, and here I am going through a divorce with a baby who's almost 1. And when the decision to move forward with divorce happened, I was only 4 months postpartum. I say all that to say because context matters. When I met my soon-to-be ex-husband, I idolized marriage. Not in a fairy tale way, but in a responsibility way. Because I was already a mom, and somewhere deep down, I felt like I had failed my daughter. I didn't grow up with a single mom. I came from a 2-parent household. The relationship I saw growing up within my family were happy, long-lasting marriages. So I carried this belief that I needed to recreate that for her. I didn't want that reality for her. I wanted her to see her mom in love. I wanted her to see happiness up close, not through movies or TV or her friends' parents, but through me. I wanted to be the example. I wanted her to witness what a healthy, loving marriage looked like. And because of that, I approached dating like it was go big or go home. I focused so heavily on the end result that I ignored the process. I ignored red flags. I ignored discomfort. I ignored my intuition. And those red flags eventually became the very things that broke me. I found myself in a marriage that felt neglectful, performative, transactional. I didn't feel loved or cared for in the ways I actually needed. That doesn't erase the good moments, but it does make the bad ones louder. There were nights I smiled in front of my daughter only to cry myself to sleep because I felt completely alone. On paper, I had a life many people would want: the house, the car, the husband, the family. And I walked away from all of it for the same reason I walked into it, because I wanted my daughter to see a healthy representation of love, and this wasn't that. Walking away from a life you once prayed for isn't easy. To some people, it feels impossible, but staying would have meant teaching her that love looks like silence, like settling, like shrinking, and that's not a lesson I'm willing to pass down.
This is similar to what I said previously, and I'm glad she realized this earlier, because there's nothing wrong wanting a home, a family for your child, most especially if you're already a single mother. This is one thing I also I've seen in some men do. They go after single women when they want single mothers when they want kids, or they feel like, oh, you already have kids, I think it will be easier for me to get a child from you. And they know when you want marriage. They know when you are that kind of person that idolize family. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. They know. And some people, if you're like, no, I don't want to have any kid if I'm not married, and they'll be like, well, if that's all I have to do to get a kid from you, so be it. Do you understand? And she is even lucky because she realized this earlier, 4 months after having a baby, and then she got out. Some women will stay and think like, oh, it's going to change, oh, things will get better, oh, it's just a phase, and it gets worse and worse as the day goes by.
We don't have to take shit off them men like they did. They had to stay with them. We used to see them up in the paper where they celebrate the 50th anniversary. Me and my sister were teenagers. We said, that woman doesn't put up with a whole lot of shit. And that old man sitting there grinning like he getting a credit for it, like he been a good husband. He done did that woman every kind of way. He got away with it, but she better not do nothing.
So it was more, they just dealt with it.
Yeah, and they go out with their chest stuck out. Like they done all this and that. They done beat the woman, stayed out all night. And back in them days, they had a girlfriend. Time they get paid, they wouldn't go home. They were going buying young women like buying groceries.
Right, and it wasn't really no gossip, it was a secret.
Yeah.
Y'all put stuff under the rug.
Yeah, they sure did. A lot of stuff I didn't tell. I still ain't told.
Right.
And ain't gonna tell.
Yep.
I'm ashamed to tell it. Then a lot of people say, well, you stayed with him. They just don't know. They wasn't in my shoes.
Yeah.
You don't get 5 kids, go out the door with a string of 5 kids, stair step, and go run and get no help. You ain't getting no help. Everybody else is trying to survive too. And the ones ain't trying to survive. Some of them don't want to see you do good, no, or some of them glad to see you get old man treat you any kind of way. And they be the very one be after.
It's refreshing and uplifting to see older women come online and share their experiences about marriages, because men of these days always complain about how marriage is no longer how it used to be, like their parents and their grandparents, and they forget that these women, majority of them, have no education, they have no right to vote, they cannot have their own bank account, they have no skills, and even the ones that have skills are like things they can do around the house. They have no savings. And when you manage to get the confidence to stand for yourself against this men, they will throw you out in the street. Back then, nobody is willing to help a woman with 3 kids, 5 kids, because back then women used to have multiple kids. It's difficult enough to help one woman or one person, talk less of helping a woman with 3 kids. Like the rights, the choice, and the options women have now, they don't have it back then. They don't have it back then, and they realize that I don't have to stick up to your nonsense just because I needed a place to stay or just because I need to put food on my table. Now we can walk. Now we can provide all those things for ourselves and have a peace of mind. And they'll be like, oh, you're going to die alone. I have never seen any woman or any man that they bury together in one casket with their partner. We all die alone eventually.
Put a finger down if in September of 2018 you got married and your soon-to-be husband made it very clear that he wanted you to have your dream wedding. So he didn't want you to worry about money. He didn't want you to really worry about too much of a budget. He just wanted you to focus on whatever you wanted. He wanted you to get it. And he even went so far as to make sure he was eligible for bonuses at work so he can get said extra money to give you to put towards whatever you needed for the wedding, because he's a good man, Savannah. And only for 6 years later, you find out that one of your wedding guests was actually, in fact, your husband's side hoe. And they have been dealing with each other during your relationship, during your engagement. She was clearly at the wedding and even embraced you with a hug and said, this is so beautiful, this is so beautiful. And they continued to talk to each other and deal with each other during the course of your marriage.
Can you imagine that? This is why I say men will go above and beyond to play in your face. But why on earth will you bring your side chick to your wedding? And to the woman, why on earth will you also go to the man you're messing with knowing fully well he has a fiancé or is getting married? There are videos, there are pictures of this wedding, by the way. You see, when it comes to side chick, I understand this thing can be, let's say, divided into 2 places. There are some women that don't really care about getting married or care about dating a married man. They just want to enjoy the benefits and just move on with their life. They will not get too attached, because the moment the man start moving mad, they are gone. You understand? But there are some that they will stay with the man. The man would date someone else, get married, divorce that woman, remarry, they are still a side chick. Women that do this, they just have one thing in mind. They think they are better than the main woman. They are better than the wife. For instance, when I was trafficked, in this compound, we are like wives, right? There's this woman she's a white woman, and she came all the way from America, by the way. I don't know how she met this man, but she's from the US. And we're in this compound where in the evening, we're just sitting around, just them doing their regular disgusting things. I'm not going to get beat up by something that I didn't do. So I told Booba that, she's the one that did it, or she's the one, and maybe the guy will get angry and start beating on her. And I will feel pity for her and take her in, maybe sometimes she'll have bruises and clean her up. Guess what this woman will do every time? Guess what this bitch will do every time? She will try and turn this around so that they will look at me like a bad person. she would tell her own husband, and she always calls him something on a bunch, something bunch, I don't know. She's feeling bad for you, beating me. And I'm telling her that it's normal, your husband have to correct you when you do something. We just get married and I'm getting to know him. Bitch, you're with him for a year. We are trafficked. We are held against our wills here. And you are trying to prove or point to this man. And sometimes in our conversation, because me and her, we talk most of the time because, I speak English and she speaks a little bit of Arab and she also speaks English. In our conversation, you can clearly see that she thinks she's better than most of the women here. And they don't even give her the right. They don't even give her the upper hand. They give me or some of the other women. That is one thing I don't understand when it comes to women like this. This man will step on you, kick you, do all these things to you, and you still feel like you're somewhat the prize. I would never understand this kind of women. Nothing will make me understand. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
I mean, we make as a household $108,000 a year.
Yeah.
So why the fuck are you on this show?
I like to spend money and not tell my wife. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
He really likes to buy all the things, and then I'll look at our bank account and I'm like, hey, what is this?
Why aren't you guys talking?
We do. It normally just doesn't end well.
The last major conversation, one of us ended in tears.
Which one?
Not me.
Who could guess? That was me.
I always feel like I'm being judged for how I spend my money when I make the money.
You view it as yours?
I worked hard.
Like he put the effort in to make a lot of money.
70 to 80 hour
Well,
weeks.
if you blow it all, you're working hard for something that's not going to be there.
But I can't take it with me when I die.
Yeah, but when you die, statistically, it will be multiple decades from now and you already have a kid.
Yeah.
You can see the smirk on his face. That man don't care. I didn't get the whole clip, but in the longer version, the woman was like explaining about how she feels some type of way because, she's not working. She's a stay-at-home mom. Clearly, you can see the guy is the one making most of the money. In fact, all of the money. And he thinks because he's the one making all of the money, he can spend it anyhow he wants without saving up or thinking about the wife and the kid they have. And Caleb asked the woman, like, why are you still with him? And her response broke my heart. She said, well, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have any job. I can't do this by myself. And she just gave all this list of why she cannot leave the man. And you can see him just yes, she's not leaving. She's not going anywhere. Instead of this guy saying, oh, babe, I'm sorry. I don't know you feel that way. This, that. You understand? Just give her a little bit of assurance. A man claiming to have a family, a wife, a home, is held by someone, which is his partner. But them, they don't see you being a stay-at-home mom as a job. No, they will tell you what's difficult there. You're just home all day. Take the kids to school, bathe them, prepare dinner. And after doing all of that, you still have to please him, in the bedroom. And if you don't do a good job, they are still going to cheat on you regardless. Even if you do a good job, they are still going to cheat on you.
This is for someone, if you're married, not married, single, dating, I don't care. This is for women in general because we are all up against the patriarchy, right? So just a few things that not only I made sure I did, but things that I really wish that I knew sooner, because no one thinks they're going to get divorced, right? Especially after 20 years. You don't think that. But anyway, here's a few things. Make sure you finish your degree. So if you maybe met your partner, your husband, spouse, whoever, and you didn't finish your degree, maybe you got pregnant like I did in undergrad, make sure you go back and finish your degree and get multiple. I got 2 degrees. Have your career and prioritize it. Because we are up against the patriarchy, men will prioritize their work, right? They're expected to. Whereas as women, we're supposed to orbit around everything else, including making work just kind of fit in. No, you prioritize your work, your career. Get a social circle that doesn't just include married women. That was the biggest thing for me. I lost my identity in my marriage, as a wife, as a mother, and a military spouse. And you know how it is if you're a military spouse, like you just get so sucked into that circle and it kind of keeps you in a little pocket where you're not really stretching yourself out. So make sure you get friends that are single and friends that are also outside of whatever community that you are a part of. And my friends that I've cultivated, who a lot of them are either divorced or single or dating, whatever the case might be, they were like these guiding lights for me, a reminder that I'm Amanda, and Amanda has agency, Amanda has sovereignty, and that really allowed me to kind of, make my way forward when it came to divorcing and feeling more confident in who I am. Do your own things, like travel, go to dinners by yourself, go to events, whatever the case might be. Do things outside of that marriage, outside of that spouse. All these things I'm telling you is for you. It isn't really necessarily have to do with who you're with or being married. These are just things to help you feel more empowered as you're just navigating life as a woman, especially if you are getting into relationships. Center yourself, not the kids, not the home, not your partner. Like I said earlier, like some of us as spouses, and mothers, like we'll orbit ourselves into our life when we actually need to be the center. Everything else, nothing moves unless we move, right? The kids don't do this until we do it, right? Until we move it around. Anything going on with the family, we are taken care of. So we need to make sure we are the center of our lives all the way, every single day. And lastly, every year, elevate. I don't care what that looks like, whether that's socially, whether that's physically, whether that's mentally, emotionally. Every year, make sure you prioritize your elevation.
She is 100% right, because I've seen some women these days, immediately they get married, they feel like they are better than you. They feel like they don't need to be your friend, they don't need to be around you. And all they do only evolves around their marriage. All they do, the friends they make, their choices, their life decision, things they do for themselves is solely dependent on the marriage. All I'm trying to say is women need to pay more attention when it comes to their boyfriends, when it comes to their husbands. They need to pay more attention, because the moment these men switch on you, that is when you realize that, oh, I remember when he did this. Oh, I remember when he did that. If you go to the barber shop, you will realize that 90% of these men, they don't even love their wife. They are just married to these women because of how they serve them. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying marriages or relationships are going to be all rosy and diamonds from January to December. No, it's not. Healthy couples do have their arguments, their disagreements, but not to the extent of like throwing hands and calling each other degrading names and using foul languages. That is what I'm trying to say. That is not a relationship. That is a war. And there is nothing worse than laying on a bed with a man that hates your guts. Because a man that hates you can do anything, absolutely anything to you without feeling 1 ounce of guilt about it. Just stay safe and be careful. That is all I have to say for this topic, and I will see you next time. Bye.